Year 11 feels up there for sure, but I'm excited. It's a good group of guys we got. Um, been building a lot of camaraderie over the last few months, so it's been uh, it's been interesting. So I'm definitely excited about what we got, what we've been building, and excited to get going tomorrow. Man. Well, I understand the benefits of it. You know, it's always a competitive world. Like we're competing with the NCAA and I guess with NILs and everything like that, and making sure that the kids are getting what's best for them. You know, it's easy to, see, especially at that age, to see a dollar amount and kind of jump after it. But, if you're around the best possible professionals, the best possible doctors, the best possible coaches that can prepare you for where you're ultimately trying to get to, I think, I support that, what the NBA is doing. But I think just as a young kid, understanding that it is a different ball game. It's not, you're skipping college. You're skipping a whole level of, I guess, experience in a way. So you're kind of just throwing yourself in the fire. I'm never against guys who feel like they're prepared and ready. Heck, we've seen it in our league, and many of guys have had awesome careers, without having to go to college, So obviously, as a kid, and me being a mentor to my guys is do what's best for you. Obviously, I'm going to point them in the right direction and give them as much advice and answer any questions that they may have. But my biggest thing is making sure that they get what they want out of playing for my program. Whether that's going to college, playing in the NBA, playing overseas, or going to school, just getting an education. Whatever it is, we try to push that and fulfill those agendas. Yeah, I think it's important. You always want to start off the year like that. Making sure that everybody's locked in and then we're playing good basketball. You obviously want to be playing your best basketball at the beginning of the year, making sure you're getting off to a good start. But I think we've been building on that the last year, and then the last half year. We've had 10 guys since the beginning of last season, 5 new guys added on to this year. So it's still getting those new faces adjusted, and that's what we utilized our summer for. A lot of guys were still here over the summer. I know I was here all summer. And a lot of guys came back early, and we got a mini camp in LA. So we had some moments where we were able to come together as a team and kind of build that camaraderie, I think getting Will, getting Monte, two guys that played with Wes before, understanding what he wants and what he desires, I think will make the transition smooth for us as players and for coach. And then I think the ultimate thing is we have a lot of vets. I think that takes precedence over everything, having the experienced guys who come in and playoff experienced guys, championship experienced guys, who know what it takes to get over the hump, who know what it takes to propel through tough battles, adversity throughout the season and prepare for the playoffs. So I think we've been building on that, and I'm excited for us to get going. Well, it starts with us guards. As guards, we put a lot of pressure on our bigs a lot of times for them to gaff, to bail us out, block shots. And granted, that's a blessing to have, to have two rim protectors now in KP and Gav who can do that. But it starts with us guards. We got to be better on the ball, getting into the ball and making sure we're guarding our yard. And ultimately, it's us as collectively as a team. We definitely got to take the challenge individually, but our help defense has to be better. Everybody has to be locked in, And I think Wes does a great job of preaching that and teaching it. I think he's even broken it down to a little bit simpler terms for us too, and made it to where, okay, we can do it, and it's just a matter of us being locked in and buying into it. Oh, well, we we lead by committee, it's an accountability amongst everybody here, so it's a free reign. Kyle knows and everybody knows on our team. If the next man doesn't do what he's supposed to do, if he can be better, we let that be known and everybody's held accountable for that, definitely starting with me and KP. So that's been voiced and we'll continue to do that. And Wes obviously has the ultimate voice, so he's demanding that of everybody. So we all hold each other accountable in that regard. Honestly, I haven't read the whole piece in its entirety. I do know about the story that he's referencing. And I mean, it was a tough time for John, for sure. But I'm definitely happy that I was blessed and the Lord saw favor me to be there for him, to be there in that situation, and just be there as a brother. I never wished that on anybody, and then me kind of having this, I've lost my grandmother last November, so kind of seeing what he went through and then not even like a year and a half, through it again. Not a lot of people know. You know, he lost his mom, lost his grandma. Not having basketball, you know, that's a lot for somebody to deal with. You know, who had the world in his hand. You know, who he revolved his world around his mother. You know, that's the reason why he played the game as hard as he did, and that's taken from you. You know, and so it's tough for anybody to really grasp and understand. So, as a brother, all you can do is just be there to support him. You know, and lift him up and pray for him and just be there for him. Like, honestly, just be there for him. Sometimes, like he said it best, like, I didn't say anything. There was nothing to say. It was just honestly being there to hold him, being there to just comfort him, whatever he needed. That's what I was there for, you know. And then to have that, experience that myself a year and a half, almost 2 years later, it was like, I understand what that meant, because I had my brothers, I had my family there, my support system too. So it's important, man. We need each other. You know, it's important you have your support system, your family, your friends, you know, your loved ones, whoever it is. You know, everybody needs somebody in this life, for sure. So I'm blessed that I can call John my brother and continue to do so, for sure. No, that's not my mindset. That's not my mindset. You know, I come in it with obviously expectations of myself and what Ted expects out of me and the organization as well. But I go out and my main focus is winning games and trying to help this organization hold up a Larry one day. That's my goal. That's my goal. That's my dream. You know, I've shown I can score with the best of them. I've shown I can be an all-star. I've shown I can be an all-NBA player. Check almost every box. So now I have to win and be a winner. So that's my final box that I want to check and will check. So that's my main focus. That's what I want to prove, that I can win.
And I know you haven't gotten so much time with him on court yet, but just from the little time you guys have had to pick up, what have you learned about KP's game and maybe how it meshes with yours?
He's dangerous. He's dangerous, man. I'm jealous. I'm not 7'3". You know, I'm a whole foot shorter. But I'm excited because he's a specimen. You know, he's probably the best big I'll play with in my career. To see his size, his versatility, his ability to stretch the floor, spread the floor, and his ability to pass too, I think is underrated. And his defensive capabilities are underrated too. You know, so I think he's another guy I think had another false narrative about him, and I think he'll prove a lot of people wrong this year. I'm excited to see. Huge in that category you just named. Like, he's a pest on defense. Even in pickup, he picks you up 94 feet and he's annoying. So it's great to have that on your team and not have to face that. But just he's a true pro. You know, he comes in, does his job, runs his team, has a defense first mindset, but he also will, I won't say surprise you, but he has game on offense. You know, he'll be aggressive, he'll look for a shot, he can get to the basket and finish, create plays for his teammates. So, you know, I think he's an underrated guard in the league for sure. I think he'll definitely, him and Monte will be battling for sure, but I think both of them have intangibles to lead our team for sure. Johnny's special because Johnny has the build of a pro at his young age. He's a willing learner. I love his jump shot, his ability to attack. But it'll be a learning experience for Johnny too. And he has great vets and a lot of guys to learn from. Learn from me, learn from Will. You know, you got Kuz. You got a lot of guys you can learn from. KP. You know, so having that and a lot of vets, I think his year will be a lot, I won't say easier, but it'll be a smoother transition for him. Because we won't be throwing at him like, yo, Johnny, we need you to do this, do this, do this. You know, he can easily, gradually learn what we need him to do. And but when we throw him in the fire, he's always willing to accept that challenge, and that's how he's been the last month and a half. So I'm excited to see him. He's a willing learner and very coachable. So great question. Coming back from surgery was a little process. I would say about 4 or 5 month recovery. Now the first 2.5 months is literally getting range of motion back. You know, being in the cast for so long. Biggest thing is making sure that your joints can be free, scar tissue breaks up and everything like that. And so that was the first portion of rehab, and then eventually working into the strength and mobility and putting them all together. And I'm pretty back strong now, so I'm definitely blessed and had a great hand therapist in Mo, and she was awesome out in LA. She's one of the best hand therapists out there, and she's helped me get back to where I am today. So I'm definitely happy. My guys here in DC, Mike Davis and everybody too, our staff, they got me back right. So I'm back 100. The biggest thing, well, one, he just had a newborn, so he hasn't been around for a minute. So congrats to him and his lady, which is huge for sure. His life will be a whirlwind for sure. But that's a part of it too. That's a part of talks we have, because I'm a dad, so I understand what that's like. But he's a younger dad than I was, so it'll be a lot for him to balance being a rookie, handling that responsibility as a father, making sure that he's always available and getting that time too. But I'm always here for that, for sure. You know, I tell him all the time, you know, you have a lot of guys you can learn from. My biggest thing is for him to be aggressive. Don't shy away from anything. You know, I tell him every single time, you belong here for a reason. We drafted you for a reason. You got drafted, whether it was here or anywhere. You got drafted for a reason. You know, so embrace that, live in it. You know that you belong here, but also know that your work is just getting started. So I'm always here to help guys out. I'm the official OG of the team, so I'm always lending helping hands. Nobody.
That's real.
That's real. No, I'm being honest, because usually I would have a name, but I didn't work out in LA at all this summer. My wife was pregnant, so I was here in DC the whole summer, and this is where she wanted to have the baby. So that was our agreement. So we stayed here. I worked out here all summer, and then on top of that, I really couldn't work out till late July, August because of my wrist too. So for the most part, I've been in DC, so I didn't get a lot of the LA action out there this year.